this video, we're going to show you how to utilize classroom and schoolwork from a teacher's perspective to lock students into an Eduphoria test. This is going to be very helpful if you really need to make sure students are locked into Eduphoria and not jumping around, looking at notes, going to other things, other websites. So the first thing you're going to see is on my teacher iPad, I'm going to go to schoolwork. If you do not see schoolwork, you need to download this from self-service. That brings me to my first tip. Anything that you're using within schoolwork, whether that's assigning things, keynote pages, numbers inside of schoolwork, you and your students just need to get in the habit of going ahead and going to self-service and updating any of the schoolwork, classroom, keynote pages, and numbers just on a regular basis to make sure everything's up to date. So once we have schoolwork on our device, what we're going to do is open up schoolwork. Inside of schoolwork, you're going to see on this left-hand side the classes you have. Right now, I've just got this DLS training. This is just a sample one that we use for testing purposes. The next thing you're going to want to do is either over here on the left, you're going to see assignments, or you can also press this plus button here. So we're going to press plus, and we're going to create a test. I'm just going to title this test 1 for now. And I'm assigning this to, you can assign this to either your whole class or individual students if you only have a couple students that need to be locked into Eduphoria. I'm going to go ahead and assign this to my entire class and press done. You can also do a due date or when you want this to launch. So maybe you don't want students having this assessment yet, but you can say, hey, tomorrow morning this is going to show up in schoolwork. So you can decide when that due date is, or if there's no due date and it's just staying open, you can have it just like that. If you need to type some instructions here, you're welcome to do so. Next thing we're going to do is add activities. Okay, on add activities, what we're going to do is we're going to say web page right here. So I'm going to click that web page. This is where we're going to add that web page. For the Eduphoria test, it's Lubbock Cooper dot school objects.com / student / assessments. Say add. So now when I assign this to students, they're going to have this link available to them. And then I'm just going to press the publish button. So now when I press this publish button, it will also show up on the student's schoolwork. So let's pop over to schoolwork on the student device so that we can kind of see what we're looking for. So you'll notice right here on my student's iPad, they have that test 1. Now you're wondering, hey, students can just press that button and they go away. So the next step is how we lock students into schoolwork. So now on your teacher iPad, what we're going to do is go into classroom. In your classroom, you are going to find the class that you are wanting that test to open up on. You'll see the only iPad that's going to show up right now that I need to worry about is this one right here. This is the one that I am testing in this on. So what we're going to do is up here at the top, you're going to see this button that looks like a stack of papers. We're going to click this. This is where we can open an app on students' iPads. Now, before we open schoolwork, the main thing you want to turn on is this lock-in app after opening. This is going to open the app on the student's iPad and lock them in. So let's press this and see what happens on the student iPad. So it's saying opening schoolwork, and you will notice over on my student iPad in just a few moments, it is going to open and then it's going to lock it in. So right now I am trying to press the home button and nothing is allowing me to leave. Okay, so now that a student is locked into their iPad, they can go ahead and find the test, press start again, and just like that, it's going to open up into the Eduphoria testing. Now you'll notice there is a Safari button at the top. If I try to click this, guess what happens? Nothing. It does not allow me to jump out of schoolwork into other websites. So once that student is in this Eduphoria page, they will log in with the same credentials they would use if they were using that testing portal that we have on their iPads. Now the student is locked into Eduphoria and the only thing they have access to is schoolwork. Once you are done, it is very important back on your teacher iPad, when you know your students are ready to get off of the iPad, You can either unlock the whole class, or as students finish, maybe my student right here is done, I can actually open up just this one student, unlock that student, which will let them escape schoolwork, get out of that eduphoria, jump into whatever other things the student needs to be working on. Or if the whole class is done, again, we can press this unlock button at the top and unlock the entire class. So we hope that this video is helpful in letting you see how to assign Eduphoria tests while locking students into that testing portal.